Hi, this is Bee from Sorcery Soap. I know it's been a minute and I haven't been on here for a while, but I wanted to touch base and show you what I'm up to. And also, just cheer you on if you're getting ready to make some Halloween soaps, which I know we're kind of late in the year, but also Christmas soaps. So I haven't felt like I had anything new to share because I wasn't necessarily inspired, but most recently I did get inspired and I've been doing things, I just haven't made any videos. So here we go. Okay, so some of you know that I make stencils for soap makers. I'll show you like this. This is the stencil. So yeah, so I made these and I wanted to focus on the stripes and the scent. These are candy cane, which is a blend of peppermint, spearmint, and eucalyptus. And it's not too sweet. Obviously it didn't turn right here, discolor. And because that's just the natural color of the soap right here, the white part, and I just colored the red. But yeah, so it's a blend and I really like it, and I wanted to focus on the stripes and just getting back into soap making and soap decorating and things like that was enough. So I just focused on those, and then I thought, after I did it, I thought, oh, I'll just pull out my stencils because I have a lot of stencils and start doing work again. And so that's what I did. And here I am. So now I've created some new stencils. Can't really see this very well. These are my test stencils before I send them to the manufacturer. And this one, oh, I love this one so much. And this one here. And again, you probably can't see it, but we'll stencil all these today and then I'll show you how that works. So let's do this guy first. So this one, I have been redesigning it and reestablishing it. And I really like the front hoof and leg in the middle of his body because it gives a lot more dimension and it shows movement a bit more than the flat. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Each one obviously is a bit stylized. But anyway, let's get going. Let's do this. So I put my soap dough in an extruder so that I don't have to wrap and unwrap and I can just sit down and do it. And so that's about how big it is. So one of the things that I wanted to point out is, so some of these legs like this, they come up like this. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, and so to put this on here, I need to always make sure that I go this direction with those, but then the antlers go a different direction, so I need to go that direction with those. So otherwise what will happen is the soap dough gets underneath the stencil. So here's how I'm going to do this. So I tack it down first. That's a little close to the edge. That's okay. And try to move, because those little legs will move as well. And this is a fully cured bar. I don't know, it's part of my practice. So I think I've had it for a couple years, this bar of cold process. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'm happy to try and answer, and I always respond. Sometimes I respond late because I forget, but I will respond anyway. So I'm just tacking it down right now so that I can come back over with my palette knife. See how if it lifts up, then it has a chance of getting underneath there. So it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be tacked down for right now. And the thing about stencils that I forget, like, you know, I went through this whole stencil phase a couple years ago and I just love them so much. See, I'm always trying to get really great details in my designs, and I love the sharpness. I love the sharp details because, you know, pouring, you don't get these very sharp things, and there's colorant issues and there's fragrance oil issues and all these things that could go sideways on it. And I'm not good at scraping. Like, I tried that technique and I'm terrible at it. And I'm also terrible at piping. So I found a workaround because I really love this. And so the next iteration of stencils, I'm going to strive to make them thicker so that we could get a thicker layer of soap dough on top so that they'll last a bit longer. And I think that'll be a really interesting process. But here's what I've learned is that I've let these dry. So I made these yesterday, and then I applied another layer of black on top of it. And so it makes them even thicker. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So here we go. So I have to hold this down and scrape away from in the direction. I have to remember which direction they were, like the flaps lay down. And if I miss a spot while I'm doing this, I can go back and fill it in. And as I was working on these, I remember, wow, I forgot how relaxing and lovely this is, and just kind of fun. Not kind of, but so I save this dough. I just put it here and then use it again. Well, if it stays like not munged up. Okay, so that looks pretty filled in. Okay, it looks good. So now I've dipped my finger in water and I just smooth all this over because I want it to look smooth. And I also want to make sure that all those little lines get filled in. And then I spray it with alcohol. This is just rubbing alcohol. And then see if the magic worked. You can see that's not going to come off right there. And if something doesn't want to come off, then it has to be cut from the line. Yes! I'm so happy with that. Oh, okay, come on. Like how sharp and nice that looks. That makes me really happy. Might not make you happy, but it makes me happy. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, so let me put that aside for a second. And these are just, again, these are my test stencils. My other stencils, which are, let me see, what are they? Oh, here we go. I have a little bit of soap on here, so my cleaning method. So these are the actual stencils, and I think I can make them thicker. I think I would like them thicker. But see how this flap comes up in order to give that the dimensions of it, or you know, the shape of it. So you want to smooth the soap dough this way and then make sure it's separated from the sides just a bit. You can see how much soap I've left on here. And these have the name of it engraved here, and it has my little logo here, which is now different. I've gone through many iterations with my logo. I'm not a logo designer, and I do study them, and I'm like, I do the best I can. But I think the bat is kind of working for me right now. The bat and the broom, I think, are kind of working. So, yeah, you can tell. I mean, I've changed a lot of stuff in the last year because I'm just trying a bunch of things. And you guys are awesome and continue to support and follow along and encourage me. And, yeah, maybe you shouldn't encourage me. Maybe I'm just like, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's do this guy. I really love this guy, and he's sort of complicated. So I want to show you how that works. I don't know if you can see it. So these are just bars that I made. Well, here's what happened, actually. I could tell. See right here? This didn't get mixed in correctly, and I might have soaped at a wrong temperature. And this was supposed to be soap dough, and I could tell it wasn't going to be good. I think maybe I measured incorrectly or something. They're really hard bars. I mean, super hard, and they're great soap, but they weren't good for soap dough. So I didn't offer them, of course. And then I just let them cure. They're scent free. And so I let them cure. So then I'm going to use them for practice. So it's hard to tell what the size of everybody's bars. So I try to stay within 2 inches, 2.5 inches in the center part. And then I've figured out that this is about the right size. Not about, it is the right size for a bar of soap, so that I have it doesn't matter. I'm going into the weeds. Okay, so here we go. Let's do that. So again, this goes up. So I want to go this way, at least on that part. And I want to tack it down for right now. And if I work it too hard, then it goes up underneath the stencil. So I just need to tack it down for right now. And the nose also has a flap that goes this way. So stencils are like interesting to work with because there's a lot of things that you have to factor in when you're making a good stencil, and then making one for soap dough on top of it, which is a different, it's different than just spraying paint on sorry, that was very loud. Spraying paint through a stencil or brushing through a stencil is very different. There's a lot of things that have to be considered to get an effective stencil. Oh, see, I just picked it up. Okay, let's not work it too much. There, okay. Anyway, here's the thing I realized, and I had forgotten about this, like, stamping is fun, and I love to stamp soaps, but they have to be, well, in my opinion, if you want a clean stamp, you have to stamp them at a proper time before curing. Like, there's a certain time frame that you have to stamp them. If you wait too long to stamp your soaps, they'll crack, and then they get munged up. If you stamp them too soon, then they look sticky, and the edges don't come off clean. So there's a process with stamping that you don't have to do for soap stencils. And I have 8 weeks to stencil any soap. And so that leaves me free to think and create and consider what I want to do for each soap. And I really forgot how freeing that is. And I kind of just went, I really like the stamps and stuff, and I am having a hard time with my manufacturer, so I can't produce those right now. And so I went back to basics and said, well, what makes me happy to do, And I just started mucking around with soap dough again and soaps. I'm like, wow, this makes me really happy. So I thought I would share, because it seems to me that is of great benefit to cause a bit more good than harm nowadays. And it seems, I was just saying this in the group, I have a Facebook group, and we have moderators and admins, and we chat in there together about soap and things like that. And it seems almost, well, in my mind, I'm like, with so much going on in the world, who cares about soap? But here's what I realized while I was talking to everybody this morning, is that I can do more, if I could do anything to cause more good than harm, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's just for myself, and I mean just, if I can't even help myself. So I'm starting there, just helping myself, and hopefully bringing a little cheer to you. So that's what I did. You kind of watched me. I'm talking at the same time, of course, but I put a little water on there and smoothed it down. Now I'm going to put alcohol. And the reason I spray alcohol on it is because what I found is alcohol helps somehow release it a bit. I'm not really sure how it works. I don't know that it matters. See, that guy right there isn't coming off. And if it doesn't come off, there's too much soap on the edge. So I like it to come off. So let's see. Nope, it doesn't want to come off right there. These stencils aren't as good as my manufactured ones because the edges fray a bit. Yeah, see, those little edges aren't going to come off this time. They did on another one. And I'm going slow so the alcohol sort of finds the edge and helps release it. There we go. There we go. I'm happy with that. It all came out. I like it. I like it. Okay, let's do one more. See, see all this lump right here. I don't know what I did temperature-wise, but I can see that it's a smaller bar than this. It's much smaller, so I'm thinking I forgot to put an ingredient in it, or less than I should have, but oh well. Okay, so this guy, let's do him. I know they're hard to see. He'll fit like that, okay. And then I have a brush for my stencils that I use, so I take them to the sink and I scrub them off. And I have to be careful not to scrub them too hard, otherwise, wow, that was really loud, I'm sorry. Scrub them too hard because they'll break, and not break, they'll fold up. I like this one, and I like the other one too, but I made the lines a bit thicker this time, and I think it's going to work better. I hope it works better. It's not that it works bad, I just want I want it to be sort of bold. The other thing I like about stencils is that last minute gifts are easier. Like, so if I have a bunch of soaps and I don't have any Christmas soaps, I can just put a stencil on cured soap. Because I don't know about you guys, but I often forget to get ready for different holidays because we have to do it. You know, I let my bars cure for 8 weeks, so I have to do it, 2 months before, and then my head's not in the game generally when I'm, 2 months before Halloween. Well, Halloween's an exception, but I have forgotten Valentine's, and over the years and then I go, oh, I get inspired when I see other people's works, and I sort of regret not thinking ahead. I made some calendars, some downloadable calendars, soap calendars, to get ready and to have prompts in those calendars. I'll put a link in the description so you can go take a look at that if you want. They're free, so I just thought it was when I was really struggling to figure out what to do with myself. And So I tried to help. And I thought, well, that could be helpful. I know it's helpful to me. But you have to actually look at the calendar. There. I don't want to take too much off. So I've decided to write another soap dough book. I'm working on it right now. I don't want to say too much about it, but I've waited and called my muse in so many times, and I felt rather abandoned by the whole situation. And I thought, what am I doing to keep her from visiting me? And so I got busy with practice. Practice is, you know, for me, just showing up every day and doing what I can with what I have. So let's see if this comes off. So far, it looks good. There. There. This little alcohol that came through. And then these little, if I just press those down and let them dry. Oop, I took the end right off of that. So, and then if I just let these dry, even this afternoon, I can re-stencil them again to make them even thicker. Like this guy's been done twice. And so what I thought was that if I could make them thicker even, that would be even better. So I'm going to try that. And I'm going to offer these. So if you like any of these stencils, go over to the website and sign up for Notify Me, and then I'm going to know how many to have made for the first go. And I want to get these going right away for the holidays. So yeah, I hope you found this inspirational a little bit, or, you know, at least connect back again so that you know that I haven't abandoned you or abandoned this channel. I just haven't had anything to say, really. So I haven't said anything. And that's all I know. So I hope you find all your magic today, and thank you for sticking around. And let me know what you think about these. Okay, bye.